Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we are going to be beginning the narration and character voice acting for the Unrealized Realities story. Alright everybody, welcome back to Columbia, or rather I should say welcome back to Rhine Lab. It has been a while. It hasn't been a while since the last Columbian story, that was covered in the Phantom story at the end of last year, but it has been a while since we had a proper Rhine Lab story set in Columbia. Even though we did have also Rhine Lab recently in the most recent Kjerag story, but that one kind of shared the spotlight with everything else that was happening over there. But yeah, it has been a while since we did anything proper Rhine Lab connected, and yeah, the last time was in Lone Trail, if you can believe it. That was literally the last time we dealt with anything Rhine Lab and science-centric. But we are back, and we are very Bioshock Infinite inspired. I mean, Cities in the Sky, it's kind of like very on the nose with this story. And also the symbol down on Unrealized Realities, as you can see on the bottom, they're looking pretty much like the Star Trek logo, as in their communicators and the symbol for Starfleet. Well, I know what they're doing. I can at least see it, but yeah. Anyway, we are back in Columbia with a Rhine Lab centric story, and this is obviously also a story that is basically a continuation of what happened prior in the Rhine Lab storyline so far. As in the last story being Lone Trail, everything in here is a pretty much a direct causal effect of what happened during the events of Lone Trail. This whole exploration into the sky and developing technology to make essentially, well, flying nomadic cities, as you will see soon in in the story when we started off. But yeah, all of this pretty much is a causal effect of what happened during the Lone Trail story. So with that, I would honestly recommend, for people who have not checked out the Lone Trail story yet, honestly, why haven't you? It's a good one. It's a long one, but it's a good one. But yeah, if you haven't seen the Lone Trail story yet, in the description box of this very video will be essentially a couple of playlists separated by their own categories. You will find the entirety of the Rhine Lab storyline from start to finish, including the manga, which basically begins as a prequel story to everything. And separate, you will also find the Kjerag story, considering that, well, Rhine Lab has a branch now over there as well, if you want to catch up with those stories, because they're pretty much related to what is happening here as well. Well, the laboratory that is built in the Rhine Lab is a direct effect of what happened during Lone Trail, so you know, there are connections all over the place. But yeah, if you want to catch up with the Rhine Lab story so far, I would highly recommend it, because there's gonna be characters, mentions, and flashbacks, of course, to the prior stuff, and it will make way much more sense if you have seen those stories before. You don't have to, of course. If you want to just continue, it's fine, but if you get confused and see characters that don't really get properly explained in this story, just note that those characters probably already had their explanations done and their character arcs in the stories leading up to this point. But anyway, without further ado, let's begin with our Air Expo in Columbia. So then, today in the first part we are going to be covering the story obviously all the way from the start to the end of stage number 2. Not gonna be a long episode, definitely not as long as a very recent video that was close to 6 hours, but the story is seemingly much more shorter than more recent stories as well. But anyway, we shall begin with our first stage, but first, before we do that, there's an interesting little quote here at the bottom next to the, I'm presuming, mother and child characters at the bottom, which says something along the lines, if I can properly see it, we should have started from this, the sky, a window without a still frame or pane. Interesting, I haven't looked into this, no idea if this is an actual quote from something, it sounds like a quote from something, but anyway. Let's begin. Our first introductory cutscene to the whole story, you are as the one reflected in the river, a banshee who has strayed far from home. Convalis of the Banshees, Kazdal.
Yeah! Yeah!
There is still a ways to go before we pass through the reed beds and arrive at the roosting tree. Shall I take the helm? The boats of the Convalis were carved by incantation and are powered by the same. They have no need for physical strength to pilot.
It's fine. Those three are busy running wild. Let them burn off some of that energy.
They're more, lively than I imagined.
This is matter calmest if you can believe it. You don't want to see them rowing while deciding who can cry the loudest, or roar most like a mangler beast. They were churned up in that furnace for centuries after all. They barely had physical form, barely had distinct identities. Anyone would be rowdy after something like that. It's quiet. The Convalis.
Pardon?
In Columbia, even a forward-thinking guy like me finds himself flustered at a taxicab door, struggling to find the handle on a newfangled model. Noisy change is Columbia's natural state. The ever-pioneering, ever-advancing nation. She waits for no man, not even for a second. But here... When was the last time I came here?
200 years ago, after Castle was picked clean in the wake of that bitter war. Vaela had only just turned this valley into the home of the Banshees.
Yep. Kinda been easy, finding a place like this, snuggled up to all these Originium Dow's mountains. Mist Lake's rippling mirror, sunken trees among the reed beds, forests carpeting the land in gold. And the Banshees working the oars of their boats, gently blowing on their lee whistles. It's like the valley itself is breathing. Even after all these years, the Convalis hasn't changed a bit. Aside from, the one who ferried me the first time around.
Vaela.
Vaela, my old friend. Did she already move into that wooden house under the tree?
She did so last month, Tin Man. I heard she worked you into one of her tales, telling the children that the mists of the Convalis are puffs from your pipe. But a day later, when the children pestered her as to how you persuaded that empty suit of armor or escaped being thrown into the furnace, hearing your name only confused her.
She's starting to forget.
Indeed. Forgetfulness. Death's warning to a Banshee. She moved into the house after that, like every other Banshee she has seen off over the years, peacefully waiting for the end to come.
Seeing off an old friend who's forgotten my name. Didn't think my trip here would end up being so heavy.
I would like you to comfort her, in your own way. She has given far too much of herself for us, for the Convalis, and for the Sarkas. You know her type, always insisting on valuing in unknowable suffering. I simply hope that as 300 years worth of memories slowly leave her side, she can find some solace.
Sure.
We are here.
Huh? Look at Amelin.
Do you require my presence for our goodbyes?
Nobody here.
But how?
Well, left? Where can a Banshee losing her memory even go?
Whoa, why is the elevator so dark? I thought there'd be a window or something to look out. Didn't you read the Propeller Paradise handbook they gave out? It's for building suspense, so everybody here for Air Expo Columbia gets an optimal high-altitude experience. Advanced tickets sold like hotcakes. I'll tell you what, this is gonna blow those dime a dozen rinky-dinky drones that have been popping up everywhere the past 2 years. Alright, no need to show off how well you memorized the handbook. We've already put propellers on every piece of furniture in our house that can take them. Does every Columbian these days hear the word sky and get all worked up into a titsy? Also, did you notice? Even after all this time, we still haven't reached the levitation layer. That means... it means this park really is as tall as the ads say, and our latest levitation tech really can hold up an entire building. We've come to the right place, dear. Where's the music coming from? Is this, an elevator ad? Hi everyone, I'm Oakley, your guide to the park. I get it, being cooped up in that little black box must be awfully boring. You got to the punchline already, but once you get your one-of-a-kind view of all Terra from 600 meters up, it'll be worth it. In 40 seconds, we'll be arriving at Propeller Paradise's levitation layer. Before that, I'd like you all to noodle one question. What sort of change will the sky bring to our lives? You might have already had the chance to try the flying cars in the lower level exhibition area today. Trading tires for our Argenium thrusters. Soon, the only place you'll see anything with wheels or tracks is gonna be a museum. Doesn't matter if it's a baby stroller or a nomadic city. Today, we struggle to decide whether to go to Minos or Siesta for summer vacation. But our indecisionitis is only going to get that much worse once every star in the sky is a potential holiday destination. The gifts you bring home for your kids after the tour today might be a model of the Rhine Lab or maybe a DIY rocket kit. But it won't be long before an extraterrestrial playmate is the newest preschool trend. Tonight, we'll be gathered by the radio, betting on whether the station will, out of all the songs about the sky, pick our beloved Goodnight Kristen Wright. But soon, we'll be forgetting all about that bassy, raspy crooner because the solar wind will be our new strings, and the galaxy will be our custom-ordered jukebox. The sky is Columbia's next frontier. That's more than just Vice President Jackson's campaign slogan. Propeller Paradise proves that every Columbian can be the greatest of pioneers. There'll always be a place for you somewhere beyond the star pod. The Air Expo Columbia begins in just 7 days, and with it, everything I just said. Hold on to your tickets, or should I say, your keys to the future. Everyone's seen the sky opening over tree mounts, of course, and the old adage of seeing is believing has never been more true. So come, see, then believe. Levitation Layer Propeller Paradise Experimental Park. Nice to finally meet you all. Recognize me? I'm the model for the funny cartoon guide you saw just now, Oakley Parsons. Welcome to Terra's one and only levitating experimental park nomadic plate, Columbia's Propeller Paradise.
Welcome to Propeller Paradise. Your investment is greatly appreciated.
Cloud, is this restaurant the highest point in the park? Being this close to the sky is really making my heart skip some beats.
What's your drink of choice? Your jaw has been hanging open since the moment you stepped off the elevator, so I imagine you must be mighty thirsty right about now.
How considerate of you, Mr. Tennant. What a fine administrator you are for this Propeller Paradise.
I know just how you feel. I first heard about this park back when I was with the Bureau of Alcohol Tobacco Arts Units in the Virginium, and my mouth went so dry it was like I'd been stuck in the desert for days. Ever since Vice President Jackson gave that speech before Congress about Columbia sending off into the sky 2 years back, everyone's been hoping to be one of the lucky few to reach up and touch the star pod.
So that's why you gave up the chance for a promotion at the ATAO to admin work for Propeller Paradise?
That's right, sir. Fact of the matter is, I've got a keen eye for potential. Propeller Paradise got DC's backing the moment it started construction, becoming Columbia's only nomadic plate with an autonomous administration. The brutes at the Department of Defense and those Department of Justice hardheads have no authority here. Even us bureau folks are only allowed to leave a rulebook on the table. 80 years of Virginia product inspection rights gone, poof! As for non-government agencies, only Mainlander Emergency Management Council has the right to stick around. Fortunately, they only worry about unusual accidents that might happen in the park. This place isn't even 6 months old yet, but hundreds of sci-tech companies have set up here. We've got near 10,000 researchers coming and going, and the Intellectual Property and Information Security Office gets almost 100 patent applications every day.
I have to say, Propeller Paradise has been developing much faster than I expected, and in so short a time.
You're right on the mark. In 7 days, the park will be linking up with Max DC, officially cutting the ribbon on Air Expo Columbia. And the whole country will be watching the opening ceremony. Every company here is going full throttle on the R&D they're about to show off. No better time to invest than right now.
I've still got a few concerns.
Concern is normal, risks and all that. But as they say, in this park in the sky, foul beasts fly right into the pot for you. I've already poured out the celebratory champagne, so don't let it go to waste. Trust me, it'll slake your thirst. Your thirst for everything.
By God, am I really standing above the clouds? Are those really foul beasts flying under my feet? This is crazy. I'm feeling a little, lightheaded, thirsty, heart racing like mad. Sounds like you need some Dr. Oxygen. Right, an oxygen tank. Wait, this is a drink? Stiffer than a stiff drink, softer than a soft drink. Your best friend in the sky, the best choice to beat summer heat. Our park's special brew, Dr. Oxygen. Be honest with me here. Weren't you jealous of Sancta wings when you were a kid, even if they can't fly with them? We'll be jealous no more, because drinking Dr. Oxygen is like plunging your tongue into liquid wings. It's sweeter than your wildest dreams. What's with the ads? Shouldn't she be giving visitors basic info on the park's upper level? Just leave her be. Look at the big smiles on the guests. It takes something special to sell ordinary soda like it's some revolutionary invention. A refreshing soda goes great with the sights and sounds of Propeller Paradise. Okay everyone, follow me while I introduce the park's levitation layer. The upper level has 11 main platforms and 20 auxiliary ones,
These tube passages are the streets, while flexible cables form the foundations of the platforms. Just like the structural layer down on the ground, the levitation layer is divided into the experiment zone and the exhibition area. Each tech firm is allocated a few levitation pods that serve as labs for researchers or exhibition spaces for the public to try things out for themselves. The high-altitude elevators only bring you to the lowest of the levitation plates. This ropeway station is the local traffic hub, with more than 100 flight pods attached to the cables. These cable cars are the only real way to get around. Want a more exciting way to get around? You could try the emergency jump pads on the support platform. Just don't tell park security I said you could do that. I will say that pre-expo rules mean you can only test a few of the exhibits right now, but I promise, you're still gonna be feasting. And as a friendly reminder, the strong sunlight up here will make people thirstier than usual, but there's all sorts of flavors of Dr. Oxygen available on every levitation platform. No need to worry, everyone, you're not getting addicted to soda, you're getting addicted to the sky!
Pleasure doing business with you, Mr. Tannen. I knew I picked the right man to work with the moment I heard you managed to get the feds to approve this place's special status in only 2 days.
Pleasure is all mine, sir. Now, if you would sign here.
That old gentleman's been standing there a while now. He a friend of yours?
Sorry to interrupt your business. Just came here looking to reminisce about the good old days. Well, I'll be. Gustave here was my boss back at the bureau. When did you show up? In this park in the sky, foul beasts fly right into the pot for you.
That little saying of Mr. Tannen struck me real deep.
He skipped the best part of the story, though. Story goes that the foul beasts of the Columbian wilds are mighty sly, tough little guys to catch. But the pioneers of the Great Expansion managed to figure out a way. They tie some pretty feathers to their pots and hung up a few dozen of them around their camp. The fowl think it's a potential mate, so they let down their guard, spread their wings and swoop down, then bam! Head first into the back of the pot, thinking there's a lovely gal or fella waiting for them even as they meet their maker.
Wait, you mean...
Still spinning tall tales out of that old yarn, Gustave? Last time you said the little beasties were smart enough to tell snare from seduction, and that they never fell for it. I know you dropped by because you're worried I get my tongue tied doing business, but I'm not the same kid that was 7 years back. I know how to behave. Considering the former ATA and now chief came over to back me up, are you still concerned, sir?
Seems I was misunderstanding things. Since the both of you gave me your guarantees, I'll just sign here.
Exactly what I wanted to hear. Looking forward to working with you. Didn't get enough of teaching me back at the bureau, Chief. Decided to come out of retirement to run me through the same old curriculum in a different classroom. No, I never taught you to tell lies on your government applications. That investor's still in the vetting phase, too. So what? Even the bureau rules tie your hands and mouth. Let your tail do the talking. You remember my words real well, but where's the results? Still a third over the target. Seems to me you'd do better if you untied your hands and mouth. Would you say? Care to explain? Take a look at your terminal. You're not just an administrator anymore. You've got total control over Propeller Paradise. You actually recommended me for chief executive of the entire park? Managing Propeller Paradise needs a special touch. Don't forget, you're still a barrow man, so don't make us look bad. Don't need you to remind me, Chief. We've got everything handled. The expo will go off without a hitch. Don't get cocky, kid. You and I both know that investors saw through your tricks, even if he signed a huge deal with you. He won't go back on it. Every company on the Flower Street Exchange with the word Sky in its name is guaranteed a sky-high IPO. Columbia is taking great strides into the air these days. Even little kids who can't spell starport play are putting rockets on their folded napkin aircraft. I'm sure you know where this Skymania came from. 3 months, 2 years ago, when 1 million people witnessed a miracle. If it wasn't for Kristen Wright, all your talk about progress, the future and conquest wouldn't be worth a dime. When Rhine Lab first submitted their park project plan to DC, you were still inspecting butts and tails for immigration. There is only one thing a Propeller Paradise I don't control. Still belongs to the one who started the whole thing. You'd better get a bridle around your wrists here. You've only got 7 days. What are you going to do?
Ground Lair, Propeller Paradise Experimental Park. I need the parameters, Sky.
Send them over already.
The values for the floating botanical unit have deviated.
This is the first time we're using plans to perform long-distance energy transfer instead of the usual cables. There's still too many unconfirmed hypotheses. We need to compare the data from this unit with the ones on the upper level if we want quick results. I'll help for you, Director.
No need. The light sensors on this unit are extremely sensitive to the directionality of the light it's using as an energy source. Errors actually mean it gets a passing grade. I just told you this 2 hours ago.
Sorry.
Let me ask again. What sort of tree is planted in the unit you just gave me?
You saw my resume when I interviewed Director. You know I'm no botanist.
I do. You're not earning a degree by glancing down at that list of plants you're holding. You've got something else on your mind.
The advanced ticket tour should be over by now. The guide was supposed to bring the visitors down to the lower level exhibitions to see Rhine Lab's Vivarium 20 minutes ago. If we are excluded from the pre-expo, then Rhine Lab's gonna get kicked out of the park when the real expo starts. Occasionally, visitors to Propeller Paradise notice Rhine's logo plastered on the facilities and talk about the legendary company that performed the miracle of opening the sky. But very few of them notice under the layers of levitating installations under the very ground itself. A Rhine Lab director standing beside an unremarkable hole in the dirt.
We don't specialize in attracting visitors, Sky.
Honestly, I forgot what I was good at pretty early into the 6 months I've been here. You stuffed a dozen of us researchers into the vivarium after setting up in the park, making us tend to the saplings and debug the botanical units. Also, the park could have a few fruit trees for decor. No large-scale experimentation or anything.
Do you think we're just here to be gardeners?
No, I know the vivarium is our expo showcase. It's the Rhine Lab's legacy, even if it has to stay on the ground. But how long has it been since we last looked up at the sky?
Nasti Lunare looks up. 2 years ago, deep below the outskirts of Three Mounts, she would stand at the bottom of the shaft and look up at the night sky in much the same way. It was round, feeble. She could cover it with just one hand. But at the same time, she found it captivating and frightening to the mind. But now the sky has become altogether unfamiliar. Tower, mountains, biotech solar boats, Beach Brella's disc lab, Bolvort Koczynski's high-precision astronomical telescope, and Mama John's all-weather floating billboards. They crowd the sky with pure, concentrated Columbia.
Ryan proposed a park with only one thing in mind: how to make buildings levitate longer using structural engineering approach. The corridors linking the levitating plates, the oxygen and water systems for the experiment zone, this planting unit in my hand, they are important parts of the park's fundamental structure and Ryan's achievements. We have only 7 days until the expo begins. We need to finish testing and checking all the exhibits as quickly as possible. We are Propeller Paradise's engineering department right now. Don't forget your duty.
That's all? Your dreams, Kirsten's dreams in the sky, are just going to die like that? Sunlight filters through the chaotic tangle of levitating objects before falling onto Nasti's face. She does not reply. She simply pulls down the brim of her hard hat. Interesting start. Immediately getting jump scared by being back in Casdell, and on top of it being back in the Convalis of the Banshees. Not even in Columbia. Just, hey, here's Casdell, here's the Convalis, enjoy. But yeah, interesting beginning and getting immediately introduced to a character that we haven't seen before. And we get to hear a bit more about here, as it's a very important character for the Banshees, as the old lady seems to be someone who has both secured their current home, their current Convalis, but is currently also on her way out, it seems, as she seems to be suffering from some form of dementia, Alzheimer's, whatever it is. But now she's gone, but we will be learning more about her throughout the story. Now, on another note, while on the topic of Casdell, the three figures, for people who don't know, the three figures that appear for a brief moment and get briefly talked about by Lakaramalin and Tin Man at the beginning, those are three little revenants, essentially. There are three little guys that are following around with Tin Man. They're part of Tin Man's skill kit as a unit as well. But yeah, those three are revenants, pretty much the same as Tin Man is himself. The only difference being these three come from the furnace in Casdell. Now, how did they leave the furnace and everything? For people who have not caught up yet, I would recommend the Casdellian rescue story, which pretty well explains how and why it came to be. And also, maybe just to check up on the first ending of Integrated Strategies 5 right after finishing Casdellian Rescue. Might be a good idea. That first ending properly explains the meeting between Tin Man and how these three essentially start following the Tin Man around. And yeah, that should do it. But yeah, there's been quite a lot of changes back in Casdell. So if you're new to this whole shtick and haven't seen those stories yet, don't be afraid of it. About not knowing yet, you will slowly over time. There are many stories in this game, and they're all interconnected. They're all overlapping with each other in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, interesting beginning. Outside of that, we get to see, we get to see this floating expose city essentially in the sky, and get to meet a very interesting mascot. Very interesting design. Again, there's so many both references in design here from like just Bioshock Infinite and some good old Cuphead designs, or rather good old cartoon designs as well, mixed into the whole thing. And I do enjoy myself in that. That is very retro. But anyway, interesting stuff. A lot of Columbian bureaucracy there, and seemingly our Rhine Lab is not really having that much of an influence here, as the other companies have moved in and started showcasing their billboards and names and getting their own plates and laboratories, and everybody's just going and hammering away for getting free money, essentially, to invest into their own businesses. Yeah, this is essentially the gold craze. This is, or rather, the gold fever, essentially, as it swept through the American territories back in the good old colonization days, right? This is pretty much this whole shtick again, just bureaucratic and in the sky. But yeah, interesting, and we get to pretty much meet the majority, I would say, of the cast so far, minus a couple of other characters. But interesting. And with that note, let's move on to our first stage, which is UR1, titled Cacophonous Sky. Find a spot near the star pod. Just don't get hit by the billboards. Freeze. The sound of rapid punching. The incantation draws an invisible wall in midair, blocking every one of the weaver's punches. The letters abbreviating her alma mater, the Three Mouths Institute of Technology, on her boxing gloves are soaked with sweat. Finally, the weaver stops. Let's call it a day. Thanks for agreeing to be my practice partner, Nasti. We've only done half your normal routine. It's time for you to go. Have you said goodbye to the others? Not yet. Mariam goes without saying, Muses is in Kjerag, and I don't know the new directors of HR and structural that well yet. As for Justin Jr. and Ferdinand, I think it's better that those two see each other in private. They can give each other an audience to name-drop fancy banquet guests, or rattle off a couple of fanciful theories that are this close to crowning a new king of science. Besides, it's just a business trip. There are a few things that require a business trip from the head of engineering personally. The district has approved their application to consolidate resources for the Horizon Arc project and continue developing levitation technology based on the legacy of Galeria Stellaria. But they have also opened their doors to every tech firm in Columbia, designating an entire plate for the purpose. Did you see the list of names? Administrators from the ATAO, and even Mainlander. A proposal is now merely one of thousands. They're already showing as much respect as they could by allowing Rhine Lab to provide foundational engineering support for the plate. Government officials, tech firm representatives. Things will be very busy on the plate. You're not used to dealing with these things. I haven't heard you complaining about anything. Control. The star pod is recovering, but the eyes cast upon the sky linger. When common sense is turned upside down, what was once ignored has naturally become the center of attention. Naturally? Since the announcement of the special loan policy, 1/3 of major enterprises have added a aerial operations department, and SMEs are climbing over one another to jump on the Sky Fever bandwagon. I know what you're implying, but I'm not interested in political games. Even if how things develop is out of our control, Rhine Lab must maintain the initiative as the original proponent in order to protect what Kristen left behind. That's not so hard to understand. Yes. Well, thanks for helping out. One more thing.
Why did you hang a sign that says Components Control Section outside your old office instead of moving into Kirsten's old room? I'm used to this place. Muses asked the same question. She grabbed my arm and asked, with watery eyes, whether I made this choice to honor Kirsten, to ensure there would always be a place for Kirsten at the company. I suppose you just feel more comfortable in your old place. You personally oversaw every little detail here after all. You were watching over my shoulder the whole time I was furnishing your office. You were even more OCD than Parvis was. Rhine Lab is the same as it ever was. I wouldn't quite say that. At least staff who came looking for control will actually find her once in a while. I'm not sure you're the right person to say that. Is this why you chose me for the trip? Make a cut here. Yes, that's the right angle. That way, the branches of the main trunk will not be affected. Test passed. Give it a tug for me before we pave it, Sky. Next set. Light sensor performance, normal. Levitation attitude, stable. Energy input and output, check. This needs a tug too. Oh, and get the disassembly set from the toolbox for me as well. Do you still need the high-speed screwdriver and multifunction wrench then? Depends. Huh? What happened to your voice? I would love to help, but I have a scissor hanging from my buttons, and I'm holding 5, trees. I really can't take any more. Sorry, I'll get it. Did Sky leave? He told you 3 times that he was going to the levitation layer for inspections. You didn't acknowledge him at all. You could have given me a heads up. The first rule of secretaries. Stand to one side and smile politely, only stirring when directed by your boss, and shut your ears when the conversation turns confidential. I assure you, I did not hear any of the figures or nouns that you just discussed, nor would I have understood a word of it. I remember you now. You're from administration, Gordon Tennant's secretary. I'm flattered that you remember me, Director Lunare. My name is Mercia. You might call me Mary. Mr. Tennant would like to invite you to lunch. Do you manage his work inbox? He received your last 16 rejections. Then I'll get straight to the point. I know he's not interested in foundation engineering, and he knows that I have no interest in proposals outside of work. Speaking of lunch though, have you changed your mind? It is indeed time for lunch.
Nasti flips through her toolbox, taking out a rectangular object wrapped in foil from underneath all the instruments and neatly packed toolboxes. Mercia's curiosity brings her closer. She wants to know what could make this enigmatic director of Rhine Lab decline the most luxurious course at Cloud, the park's fine dining establishment. A crack appears in her impeccable secretarial smile, however, as she watches Nasti impassively unwrap the object.
Is this brick your lunch?
Ration bar.
What?
Mercia cannot look away from the brick.
Are you hungry? Would you like a bite? I suppose, thank you.
Mercia starts to chew with great difficulty and swallows arduously.
You didn't have to say yes. The second rule of secretaries? Never decline an offer from your boss's guest. for even the smallest trifle might sour our relationship.
How many rules are there?
Mr. Tennant gave me a booklet that is 2 centimeters thick. However, the most important one, and the one that I memorized first, was: do whatever it takes to carry out your orders, for no one will listen to your excuses.
Don't force yourself to eat it.
Ah, thank goodness. I mean, thank you for the hospitality.
I have a rule of my own, although it's a bit simpler.
What is it?
I was born in Kasdal. The first rule I learned there is that food is precious, and no one may lie before it. You're holding my lunch, Mercia, so kindly tell me the truth. What exactly does Mr. Tennant want to discuss with me?
Reporting in. The core concept of this project is a perfect combination of zero-G simulation and vine testing by substituting gravity with centrifugal force. You may spin, but your vine won't. Come to the Lucky Sissiby's floating revolving bar, where it's not just the vine that makes your head spin.
No need to reread the marketing copy. I'm just here to assess and ask questions from an engineering perspective. Where's the other tester? Any feedback after the rectifications?
He didn't sleep well last night. We passed the recheck, didn't we, Mr. Jagger?
We won't have our permit revoked. The Lucky Sissiby's floating revolving bar does not meet requirements, whether based on engineering reports or tester feedback.
We would love to solve the technical issues of unstable power supply, but we need time.
You had 3 days in accordance with the rules of Propeller Paradise.
But it takes at least 5 days for the developers to discuss the solution.
Propeller Paradise has many corporations, as there are cars on the crossroads of 3 Month Square. Every driver has somewhere to be, but no one pleads to the traffic lights.
There must be another way. I know. We hired close to 100 testers. We could fire them and hire more researchers with the money.
But you promised us yesterday.
Shut it!
And reread the registration details for Lucky Sissiby's. You are a grocer in a small town. You lack the professional knowledge for levitation technology research, even if the banks have relaxed the loan criteria for businesses in the aerial sector. We stand upon Terra's first and only floating plate. Everything here must be worthy of it.
Please don't tear off the ticket. I put my life savings into the Sissiby's, Lucky Sissiby's, please.
That's it? I'll be back to cleaning 3 months office building windows in a couple of days? Go on, barf your heart out. At least we got a taste of life in the sky. You won't have anything to throw up when you get back to the frontier, back to the cold and hunger. Skip the technical inspections before the opening? Absolutely not. Everyone on Propeller Paradise is racing against the clock to get across the finish line. Mr. Tennant believes that any delay to projects caused by inspections will compromise Propeller Paradise's opening. In addition, reducing the amount of communication you have to conduct with other tech firms will allow you to devote more of your time to your Rhine Lab research. Mr. Tennant has your best interests at heart.
My best interests? I spent years wandering the frontier when I first came to Columbia, building houses for the pioneer teams and killing bandits for the caravans. Life was hard until I finally got my big break. If I had someone like Gordon Tennant with my best interests at heart, handling everything I wasn't comfortable with,
that would have been very fortunate, I'm sure.
I would have died out there in the wilderness, I'm sure. Besides, what he really wants isn't for Rhine to forfeit our control over technical inspections.
How do you know? You imitate his negotiating style too well. The traps and pitfalls are obvious. I'm not a Cacophonous. I'm not in the habit of diving into holes. Spit it out. What does he really want? You are as astute and decisive as he said you were. In that case, I'm sure you understand that while Mr. Tennant is in charge of Propeller Paradise's overall administration, it is Rhine that has a stranglehold on public opinion. He doesn't need any accidents at such a critical juncture, nor can he afford one. Therefore, he has put together a list based on project progress and asks that you perform the inspections in this order. This way, at least the inspections will have a minimal impact on the progress of individual projects and minimize the chance of conflict, setting aside the issue of engineering control. The less hassle for you, the less hassle for him. I won't try to speculate about Tennant's intentions with the order. We have a compromise. Give me the list. Thank you for your understanding, Director Lunare. I won't trouble you any longer. One last question. Which rule were you following in the negotiation just now? The 12th. Know your boss and communicate his intentions with absolute faithfulness when negotiating, for you are his personal representative. However... Yes? Before I came, Mr. Tennant stressed how difficult the head of Rhine Lab's engineering section was. I packed blankets because I thought I might have to spend the night in front of your office. But that's not what I see. You don't need concern from other people, and you're used to cutting through the problem in the most direct possible way, but you still care about people. Which is why I now have time to enjoy my lunch in peace, something that I have not done in a long time. Thank you.
Flashback.
Andrew! Did I hit you again?
Call me Sky.
But you gave yourself that name. Mom and Dad said...
Don't bring them into this. What have they ever done for us except use us as punching bags? They don't get to decide my name. I swept floors for 6 years at TAT and eavesdropped on every course so that I wouldn't turn out like those two piles of garbage.
But...
And you? Don't you have anything better to do than put nagging notes on my bag? It's not like I don't know how to eat.
Those people are here again.
Freaking hell! They just won't quit, will they? Stay behind me!
You think you're all high and mighty wearing that white coat, huh? You and that little bitch there will always be slum drags no matter what you wear.
You're a must-beast in a ditch. You would know greatness if it shat on your face.
Say that again, I dare you!
Andrew!
What's that? Catastrophe? Run!
Catastrophe, my ass! It's called exploration! Progress! The young man, all bruised up, looks up at the sky. He forgets that he's in a dark and dirty alley with a scared little girl behind them. He cannot help but go after the ray of light in the sky. Aren't you worried about the control? Like she ever needs us to worry. We're going the same way, and that's all we are. We can only play our own parts and then pray she's lucky. Speaking in sarcasm, if one day Castle 2 hangs from the firmament, then I'll engrave your name into my stoves.
Excuse me, ma'am. Can you tell me about the one who went into the sky? Who was that?
Kirsten. Her name was Kristen Wright.
Lucky CCB's Food and Beverage will cancel their registration tomorrow, Director.
They didn't pass the recheck?
Not even close. They were one of the first corporations that made the transformation to get into Propeller Paradise, running on Sky Fever, and review criteria were less strict.
What will happen to the testers they hired?
Their boss can tell a motor from a transformer. I bet he just saw the name Propeller Paradise as an opportunity to get rich quick. What were you asking?
Nothing. You seem to like the name.
I wish they would just call it Galeria Stellaria.
I know you didn't approve of publicizing the Rhine Lab's technological legacy.
I have no intention of criticizing the acting control's decision, but overly conservative decision-making will only cause us to lose the respect we deserve. Countless tech firms have appeared out of nowhere, based on nothing but speckles of data. The Rhine Lab that's shown upon millions of Columbians is now educational toys accessible to anyone above the age of 5. Space and universe are the buzzwords on every Columbian's lips, but few remember that they came from Kirsten's experiment logs that were made public. No one is truly commemorating her. Not even you, Director Lunaray.
Recording and introspection are historians' work. Our job is to analyze validated data and follow a path that is effective and proven.
And what has come of this data and path? Over the past couple of years, Rhine has acquired a dozen smaller labs, making progress in projects large and small, with the notable exception of Kirsten's legacy. At this exhibition, we will publish Rhine's subsequent research into the Galeria Stellaria for the first time, putting second-rate tech firms in their place, returning to the realm of air exploration in the public eye. I know the vivarium was built on the data transmitted down from the Rhine Lab, and that the development of a plant-based energy transmission system represents a monumental milestone in engineering design. Nurturing sprouts, paving botanical units, technical inspections, all these are for the sake of progressing our experiments. But is the vivarium really enough? It did not even get its day in the sun from the pre-expo? Please tell me, Director Lunaray. Rhine has bigger goals, don't we? Like how no one knew that Kirsten was going to pierce the sky before the night she did it?
That night, or 3 months, was a long time ago. Get to inspecting the next company. Take note of the change in order.
Yes, ma'am.
Sky. I know how you feel, and I know that Kirsten was the one who inspired you to join us. Many people looked up at the sky that night. Not everyone chose to chase it. Don't forget what made you make the first step.
I'll prepare the inspection documents.
Here's your pass, agreement form, and business directory. Once again, I welcome you and your team on behalf of Propeller Paradise. Next! Can I help you?
I am canceling my business registration.
What is the name of the business?
Lucky CCB's Food and Beverage.
You will be dismissing 82 testers, correct?
Yes, I have their files on my own here.
Thank you. One moment, please.
Did the Shadow Moon fall on my head or something? Why was I so sure I would make my money back that I hired 82 amateurs with no corporate experience? Every company does the same thing. Why does it have to be Lucky CCBs that gets the axe? 1 million gold certificates down the drain just because we were a little bit slow dealing with problems? You gotta be freaking kidding me! How the crap did one boot Shadow Moon real estate solve that stupid 3D levitating boundary market technical issue? A bunch of cobblers?
Your request has been processed, Mr. Aspen. The Propeller Paradise hotline will remain available until the end of the day.
Okay.
However, if you have certain special needs, like one Boot Shadow Moon Real Estate did, we can help you with that.
But what do you mean?
The smiling staff member takes out the business directory that virtually everyone in Propeller Paradise has a copy of, and points to a phone number. No name, no address, just an unremarkable phone number hidden among thousands, as tiny as Aspen's hope.
One phone call to this number is gonna solve all my problems? Lucky 60 Beast won't have to leave Propeller Paradise?
Correct.
Then I want to withdraw the terminations and the cancellation of registration.
No need to worry. The registration of Lucky 60 Beast has not been cancelled. However, you do not need to withdraw the termination of your testers. This phone call will completely solve your problems, and you won't need those people anymore.
A miracle or a scam? Ah, screw it. Anything to say up here?
Mr. Tannen.
Let me guess. Nasti was skeptical, but she accepted the list and agreed to the proposal.
Yes, I checked the engineering department's inspection schedule for today, and it's exactly in the order that you proposed. But how did you know?
I didn't know what she was going to choose. All I know was that I'm at the epics of my life right now, and everything is going my way.
You're in good spirits.
It's gonna take more than a Rhine director to move the needle. Open the letter on the table.
From Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Arts Units, and Originium to Mr. Gordon Tannen. Congratulations on your appointment as Chief Executive of Propeller Paradise. 2 pages. I've never seen a congratulation letter this long.
The reassignment letter that I got 6 months ago on the border was 2 lines. Everyone thinks the ATAO is a sweet gig, but I didn't get to embezzle shit from the savages in Sami, or the tribals in the Sargonian rainforest. The old fox hated me, and the rest of the ATAO turned their nose up at me. Now, he's retired, and I'm promoted. Things sure can change in a hurry, don't they? It's still light out, but a happy occasion like this calls for
a toast. Your champagne, sir.
Well done, Mary. You made some progress in your time with me. Better we're talking about Nasti or this glass. Pour one for yourself.
Thank you, sir. However, the rules are quite clear about not drinking on the job.
Be shit. I pulled that manual out of my ass.
In that case, would you like to say a few words?
Yeah. The exhibition 6 days from now is just the start. My opening address will be the toast of all of Columbia. Every rocket will have my face on it, and the largest district in Shadow Moon will be named after me. Rhine 88, the district. No one's ever gonna tell Gordon Tannen what to do. This will be my Propeller Paradise forever and ever. Thumbs up. Who are you? Here for the party?
Hello. Are you the Chief Executive of Propeller Paradise? Oakley, newly appointed guide for Propeller Paradise. I'm supposed to report to a Mr. Gordon Tannen. Gordon Tannen spits the champagne out of his mouth. Alright, getting introduced to even more characters, and another Oakley? Did we already get introduced to an Oakley? Well, before we get to that, we have new enemies to introduce here, and Yeah, we're continuing the tradition of enemies that are absolutely wacky in both design, naming, and whatever they actually are. Outside of the drone, that's gonna be the very first thing here. So, in order. First, we have the Monster Mark II. Also very funny that it's called a monster, but anyway. An unmanned enemy drone that has been upgraded from its namesake model, the Monster Mark II. Equipped with a small gun and a long-range arts receiver, they are likely operated by concealed casters. Though unlikely to cause heavy damage to armored operators, they can still pose a considerable threat. Then we have the Skybuster Soda. Shake the bottle vigorously for 300 seconds, then pry the cap open according to the instructions, and it will shoot into the sky with immense force. Don't worry, the bottle is made of high-toughness acrylic that will not break easily. As for the soda inside, does anyone actually buy it for the soda? Basically a bottle rocket. Then we have the Flying Toaster. A crisp beep, then fresh toast falls directly onto your plate. Restaurants that use it typically require customers to take off their hats. Not for good manners, but because it often mistakes hats for plates. Efficient. And finally, Balloon. One of the thousands of hot air balloons that comprise the first levitating plate on Terra. King Charles the Mad believed the only reason his castle would not move was because it did not have enough originium engines. People never change, even after centuries. That is a reference, a name drop, and very funny in one go. What else can I say about that one? But yeah, interesting stage, continuing to introduce more characters, continuing to remind us that corruption is a thing. This is Columbia after all. Stuff is happening behind the scenes of this monumental exhibition that is taking place here in the sky, and yeah, we get to see a tiny bit of it, and I can say right now we'll get to see even more of it as we're gonna be progressing through the story, but more on that later. But yeah, we get to meet a new character in the Secretary that is definitely very interesting for the time being. Can't say much more, but yeah, very, very interesting, very polite. Outside of, well, not really outside, but definitely changes a bit in demeanor a tiny bit when she opens her eyes. She's that type of anime character after all, right? Never trust the characters who have their eyes closed. If anime ever teaches you one thing, it should be if you meet a character in an anime that has their eyes closed, suspicious. Very suspicious. But yeah, and yeah, like I said earlier, we ended up on a second Oakley for whatever reason, but yeah, more on that in a bit as well. Also, before we continue, let's do one little quick introduction here through our collectible currency for the event, which is a Dr. Oxygen. As already mentioned in the story, this is the soda essentially that they're selling, pretty much Red Bull, and it says an innovative beverage inspired by high-altitude air supply devices. Now the lifeblood of Columbians. No one will refuse to fork over a high price to taste a new era beyond the Star Pod. And it further says, it's just cheap sugar water based on Forte energy drinks flavoring? Who cares? Nowadays you only hear such boring truths from bitter and bankrupt companies that didn't think of bottling their beverages in rocket-shaped containers. He has a point. Whoever this is quoting from, the guy has a point. A lot of merchandise is selling purely on packaging, even though you could get the same thing in a cheaper package. Anyway, we continue on with our training stage, which I don't really have to include here. All you need to know is that on the training stage we get introduced to the levitation zones, and also we get reminded that Doberman does not like being high in the air. as Doberman does. Anyway, the stage is called a Sky Sickness. A bottle of soda, an advertising pamphlet, and a heart that yearns for wings. And then we move on to our second battle stage, Undocumented Passenger. Accidents are acceptable to Propeller Paradise so long as they bring scientific progress, so long as they came from Columbia.
Shit, bro, take my name if you want, but you didn't have to steal my entire past.
Oh, how dare you slander me? I wrote the entire application myself!
Can you recite it from memory?
How am I supposed to pull something I wrote a year ago from memory?
Oakley, born in Bunker Hill, graduate of the Three Mounts College of Arts and Science, previously worked as a guide in the Human Development and Technological Innovation Department of the District Convention Center. Innovation is misspelled.
Damn you, if I didn't lose my terminal and CV! Gordon's head has never hurt so badly. The holes in the onboarding process are obvious upon further inspection, but the real question is, why would she impersonate a guide? Is she a Lethanian spy, a DoD agent, or a pair of eyes the DC is keeping on him? The imposter has already made contact with many corporations at the preview exhibition. Dealing with her now means broadcasting his negligence to the whole country. Besides, Gordon has no idea how much she knows and whether she has ill intentions towards him and Columbia. Gordon does not dare to think about it any further.
Your gaze wanders when you speak, your voice is trembling, and you talk without rhyme or reason. I thought Mr. Tannen would want such an Oakley to handle promotion work.
Don't you bring Mr. Tannen into this! I tell you! Shut up!
Perhaps you need a little time to calm down, Mr. Oakley. Come with me to the reception room to rest for a while. Mr. Tannen,
Listen up. I just pulled your activity records from the park here. It won't be hard to figure out just who you are. One more lie, and I'm throwing you off this plate. It won't matter who you are when you're a puddle on the ground 600 meters down. You get me? Now talk. Who are you?
a guide.
You got balls, I'll give you that.
The kind of guide the tourists need. My name is Fern. I am a tour guide. My apologies, Mr. Oakley. Mr. Tannen will make sure this matter is dealt with promptly.
Do you believe me now?
Of course. You can reach me through this terminal if you need anything. Now, get some rest. I'll be going.
Alright.
Done. Read the room and avert potential risks for your boss. Another rule for secretaries.
You said Oakley got himself drunk a month ago after our breakup, and he gave you his resume instead of his contact info, which gave you a chance to sneak into Propeller Paradise under his identity.
That's right.
Your client was an old Banshee who somehow got lost in the Bleachhead Wasteland. Her memory was hazy and it was difficult to communicate with her.
Yes.
You suspected that she was ill, and you were asking around under the guise of a guide to make her journey a smooth one, which is why you looked like you were up to something.
Exactly.
You've spent a whole month here. You know this is no ordinary place. If you're a foreign spy, the military will take you in for questioning, torture, and you'll never again see the light of day. If you're an agent from the Department of Defense, DC won't let you off the hook. They'll disavow, distort, and even dispose of you, all for the sake of tipping the scales to their side. If you're a district plant, Then you've learned too much, and the ATAO taught me plenty of ways to help you forget. But you're just a tour guide who cares for her client. You're a good person. And Columbia will do good by a good person.
You aren't going to press charges?
Believe me, I'd love to, but too many corporations have noticed your performance at the pre-expo. You'll deal with your problem and get lost before they find out who you are. The longer you stay, the more I have to compensate a poor guy whose name you stole. If all you want to do is clear the mind of your Banshee client, I can help.
You know about Banshees?
I know how to solve your problem.
Floating botanical unit connected. Bioelectrical signal detected. Charging drive unit. Oh, that's the smoothest these experiments have gone, isn't it? No, this voice. The short circuit protection has kicked in. Unravel. Unravel. Huh. You shouldn't touch an overloaded converter with your bare hands, Director. Works better than the incantation. How are the readings? By exhibition standards, the technology for high-altitude energy transmission through plants is sufficiently mature. By the standards of your expectations for the project, however, not good enough. The energy transmission threshold for the floating botanical unit falls short of theoretical values. The prickly 40 kid would chill out a bit if you said as much to him. Sky is inexperienced, but he was right about one thing. This vivarium is Kirsten's legacy, and we owe it to her to do our best. You were always stubborn, going back to when we dug out the shaft together 5 years ago. You pulled all-nighters to ensure its structural integrity, enchanting the core materials with incantations. Nothing could get you to take a break, not even your favorite gummy worms. If you want to go fin-catching, do it at Lake Sulligan, assuming I approve your leave request, of course. Besides, I worked so many hours just because I was inefficient. I learned to write curses too late. My incantations suffer in strength and precision compared to my kindred, because they rely on sound as the sole medium. Is it why you modified your bone pen and use hole-punched paper tapes to supplement your casting? Yes. I took a lot of wrong turns.
Nasti takes out her bone pen, a plain, unornamented object resembling Rhine's technological creations. She inserts it into a sapling in the vivarium, and a white glow rises from the roots, through the branches, and into every leaf. It is as though a command has been entered into the whole vivarium. Terminals begin to execute programs, automatically recording plant energy conversion data.
Such an efficient programming language, your incantations. Then, we should make more efficient decisions at this bottleneck, despite risks. Do you mean... Review the report again. Thank you for your work. Yes, ma'am. Hello, this is the Rhine Vivarium Lab. Hello, Director Lunaray. Mr. Tennant has asked me to express his gratitude at your reasonable accommodation that led to successful cooperation the last time. There are some follow-up matters to be discussed. Do you have time this afternoon? Yes. Excellent. I will see you in the vivarium in an hour.
Ride the ropeway to Flying Donut Station, then take the ring corridor. I'm in the right place, aren't I? It's so dark in here. Where's the light? Good heavens! Where am I? Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Activating bioscan. Analyzing results. Species, Terran, sex, male. Threat level pending.
A talking fin beast?
Mind your words, foolish Terran. I am SpaceFin054. State your universe ID number immediately.
Universe ID?
Your corporate name, nitwit.
Oh, Lucky Sistybee's Food and Beverage.
Ah, so you are the partner that Sky Conqueror was expecting. How unfortunate that I won't get the chance to test my laser cannons. Don't touch anything. The supervisor will be here momentarily.
Supervisor? 5-4. Make sure you speak like an extraterrestrial entity next time you do the clan explanation thing.
Aye, aye, sir.
Mr. Tannen? Shh, don't huff and puff. The polite thing to do when you stand in this collection of unique curiosities, the likes of which you will not find anywhere else in Terra, is to admire it with your eyes. Look at the wall on your right. 5 years ago, I confiscated the possessions of a pioneer trying to illegally cross the border, and found an unusual water circulation and filtration system in his trailer. He helped me find the core components in exchange for looking the other way. When the unit was assembled, I identified as a locus of sorcery, a Sarkras witchcraft weapon. My goodness, it must be dangerous. Turn around and look behind you. This is a Trident arts unit from Lithanian, created by Witch King cultists who wanted to amplify arts output so they could rip apart the fabric of reality and summon their master. Kinda crazy, sure, but its conversion efficiency is 50 times the max allowed by Propeller Paradise regulations. Even an onion could fly with it. Wait, so you solved one boot's technical issues with, contraband? Contraband! ATAO made up the stupid rule about only using parts made in Columbia! I don't know and I don't care about the reasons behind the decisions. All I know is that these rules are un-Columbian. They restrict scientists and force entrepreneurs to lie. It was a single humble ATAO officer who imported inventions from across Terra into Propeller Paradise, forming the heart and soul of 1/3 of all levitating facilities here. 1/3? You've run hundreds of smuggling operations without getting exposed? Every transaction, every deal has gone without a hitch under my management. Not even my secretary Mary knows my secrets. I need time to think about this, Mr. Tannen. Lucky Sistybees has 1 day left, and I got other things on my plate. I'll give you 5 seconds. Lucky Sistybees gets a mongrel heart, or you let it die to your stubborn pride. Choose.
Is this Director Lunare, Rhine Lab's youngest director ever, Dr. Wright's former Rhine woman, and supervisor of the Vivarium and Propeller Paradise's engineering department?
Is this the follow-up matter that you were talking about, Mercia?
Well, yes. A guide can improve communication in the engineering department and promotional efforts for the Rhine Vivarium, avoiding another frosty reception for Rhine, like what happened at the preview. I hear the botanical units floating above Propeller Paradise get their lift from incantations rather than propellers?
Not entirely. Incantations that do not use sound as a medium need to be combined with machinery to maintain operation.
Your bone pen must be extremely important to you. Will losing it have negative consequences, such as loss of memory or illness?
The bone pen is just a tool. It does not have, psychological effects.
How do you relieve stress and recover your energy outside of work? Does a full course horn treatment help you relax? Which brand of horn care product do you recommend? May I touch your horn to see how well it works?
You're asking questions that have nothing to do with our work.
I'll have a researcher take you through the vivarium to answer any questions you may have. But there are some things that I need to speak with Mercia here about. Alone. What is Gordon planning this time? Why do you ask? Mr. Tannen understands that Ryan's current circumstances may give competitors certain ideas, and he does not wish to see it impact the inspection efforts. He has the best of intentions. I thought he already traded his conscience for that fancy suit. Besides, I have a hard time believing that an official guide would ask such irrelevant questions, unless she had ulterior motives to begin with. I'm not making any accusations. I know you have to protect your boss, but you know you can tell me the truth. I agree, it's unusual, but I don't think Mr. Tannen is targeting you. Explain? We've only just recently come to an accord. There's no reason for us to put pressure on you a second time, in such a short period of time. Mr. Tannen is a careful man. He would have told me about it if he had other intentions, if only to avoid accidents. Unless he's keeping some kind of secret. He disappears from the office at certain times during the day, every day. At first, I thought he was going to talk to potential investors. But I spoke to an investor a few days ago, who complimented Mr. Tannen on getting a contract signed in a single sitting. Yet he said his negotiations with this particular investor were rocky and needed more time. Why are you looking at me like that? You just violated the first rule of secretaries. Oh. Besides, you're not as tense as you used to be when going over the clues. Is that so? According to the rules, I should close my ears and mouth and think only about the interests of my boss. But now, I'm not sure what he's thinking.
What are you two talking about, me? I'm glad to see the two of you getting along so well. Mary's a shy girl, and I thought she would have trouble making friends outside of work.
Mr. Tannen, I am... Is this part of the rules too?
You're a hell of a joker, you know that?
I hope you're not here for the comedy.
I'm here to apologize. I know how exhausting it must be, inspecting thousands of exhibits while preparing your own at the same time. I just wanted to do my part to help.
You sent a very professional guide.
It's only natural to be nervous when meeting your hero.
I never knew I had a fan like that.
She must be shy, or maybe... You were trying to avoid suspicion.
What do you mean?
Bring the guide, Mary. I have a few questions about Director Lunare that I would like to ask her.
She's gone, sir.
Say what?
Director Lunare! Nutrition supply to all planters has been cut, but there's no error from the control program, and no sign of hardware damage to the central control computer. It's almost as if,
The command to control them has been revoked.
Yes, the converters that were supposed to supply energy to the planters are now running in reverse. The plants will die in minutes if the commands aren't repaired quickly.
No, they've already begun to wilt.
First the leaves, then the branches, and the trunks. The greenery that covered the lab walls is peeled off in a matter of seconds. Everyone stops to watch the disaster unfold before their very eyes. They all know what these shriveled, bony branches signify. It is not just the trees in desperate straits. What are you standing there for? Hurry up and move these saplings for the exhibition. Those are our last ones.
Everybody freeze!
What?
Propeller Paradise police will take control of the vivarium, effective immediately, and begin an investigation into this incident. No one may approach the equipment until evidence collection is complete. Security! Yes, sir! Put the vivarium on lockdown. Yes, sir! I'm sorry you lost your experiments, Director Lunare, but I have to ensure the safety of Propeller Paradise. Your researchers have to leave the lab until the investigation is complete. I'll get someone else to handle the inspections.
When did those guards show up outside the door? Before the alarm sounded? Or after?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The researchers can leave. I won't. Your timing was a little too perfect, Gordon. Thank goodness. No one's on my tail. Sorry, Mr. Tennant. I have to go back on my promise to meet you in the vivarium. I think I found what I need to help the Banshee.
Fern opens up her hand. A white object is lying in her palm. 10 minutes ago, she was walking through the vivarium while thinking about what can help restore an aging Banshee's mind. It must be something that is very important to a Banshee, something that would awaken her instincts. The small object inserted into a tree called Fern's eye is though ordained by fate. The white surface is covered in esoteric symbols, patterns floating around it like a glowing cardiograph. Its allure irresistible. Fern has seen similar symbols and patterns before. It is a Banshee bone pen.
Sorry, Director Lunare, but I'll have to borrow this for a while. I'll return it as soon as my client has recovered. Hello! Sorry to keep you cooped up in this room all day. I think I found a way to restore your memories. Ma'am?
There is no one in the room. Only the creased sheets show any indication that someone used to be here. Wind blows into the room through the open window. A black feather that fell from a horn quivers on the windowsill.
She's... gone.
Well then, shit hit the fan very quickly in this story. The vivarium is absolute toast. Good God. So much work, all for nothing, just because someone removed a single item. But before I talk more about this and we wrap up today's episode, one more enemy to introduce in today's part. We have the Sky Howl Vacuum. For other appliances, the ability to fly is just a gimmick. For vacuum cleaners, the ability to fly is a revolutionary breakthrough, allowing you to vacuum the ceiling with ease. Please follow the instructions in the safety manual if it catches your hair as it flies over your head. Meanwhile, me with long hair. Luckily, I tie my hair up. But yeah, that is gonna be it for today's part. But yeah, very interesting. So, Fern... yeah, not the original Oakley. The original Oakley got duped out of his job, at least for the time being. But then again, not a bad person. Didn't sneak in to cause mischief or actually legitimately steal stuff, even though she did technically steal some stuff, but not with malicious intent. She just wants to help someone. But sadly, the very thing she took out is... it's essentially like removing a physical part of a computer program. Technically speaking, she did actually remove a physical part of a computer program, as pretty much talked about in the story on this very note. The bone pens and the incantations that are set up with them and tied directly to the plants themselves, they're pretty much a incantation version of a computer program. Nasti basically made incantation C++ or Python, whichever one you want to go with. Yeah, very interesting how quickly everything fell apart the moment the thing got removed. But then again, it is technically a computer program, and if we accidentally delete a line of coding, yikes. Yikes, everything goes to shit very quickly. But yeah, right. She didn't do it, obviously, with malicious intent. Like I said earlier, she did it because she wants to help someone, but doesn't understand that what she did is bad. Oh boy, this is gonna have some consequences. And yeah, Tannen is definitely corrupt. But interesting fact that he brought up during his conversation with the guy from that other company, that for some reason they put it into place that only Columbian products can be used for this. I presume it's for marketing purposes and to signal how both advanced and self-sufficient potentially Columbia by itself is. Maybe that would make the most logical kind of like decision making to me, why they would put that into, especially because this is also an expo. Makes sense to make it like, yeah, make it only our products, and in the future we can do whatever the hell, right? We just need this initial push to showcase it to both the public of Columbia and to the world at large, right? But yeah, then on the other hand, we have Tannen, who has already broken these rules massively, as indicated by the whole thing, and probably most platforms around here are being propelled by, well, parts and technology that, yeah, I can only think of this is gonna go so bad so quickly. This is really gonna go so bad so quickly. The moment something happens, just like in this node, the removal of the bone pen did destroy the entire vivarium essentially. The moment something else is gonna happen in this Air Expo it's just gonna collapse the whole thing. It's gonna be horrendous, but that is just speculation, of course. But yeah, very interesting stuff. And yeah, once again, I do like that the secretary lady, when she was alone a bit with Nasti and prompted by Nasti, actually broke her facade a tiny bit and acted like her, I'm guessing, normal self, which is very interesting. She definitely isn't who she claims to be, I would say. Who she actually is, I don't know. But considering that Tannen is so suspicious about everybody around him being a spy, but is trusting Mary so much, I wouldn't be opposed if Mary is gonna turn out to be a spy by the end of the story. That would be very funny. I just wonder if she is some kind of spy and was working directly for him. I just wonder who she might be. Also, the drone that works, or whatever that thing is that works for Tannen in secret, is very interesting. I first thought the way it was presented that it's some kind of weird baby alien. Or something fish related, like actually fish related from I don't know, the Iberian Sea or some shit like that. But seems to be just a drone that whatever the hell it's doing there. I hope they're gonna explain that little thing later on, because that is very fascinating. I mean, it was definitely putting up a show for the guy that was coming in, considering what Tannen was telling it when he arrived to behave next time more like an alien, essentially, to pretty much put on a show for the next person who comes along a bit more harder, which very interesting. Again, the story is just introducing one interesting character after the other. I do wonder how everything is gonna be jiving going forward. And of course, speaking of characters, there's the one character we've heard about quite a bit so far, but haven't seen yet, which is the Banshee, which obviously has to be Viola at this point. I mean, we got introduced to her at the beginning of the story, didn't see her, but then she disappears, and now we have Banshee here with missing memories, and Fern is trying to help her get her memories back, so that 100% has to be Viola. Now, how will this play out, and what's gonna be happening here? Why she even left the room is very interesting. If she kept put for so long, and was waiting for Fern, we'll see. So far, the story is pretty entertaining. But next time we'll check out how it continues. For now, all I can say is, hope you enjoyed this very first part. It's very fun, like I said. And we'll continue this next time. So, thank you guys very much for watching and listening. Hope you enjoyed. If you did so, please consider leaving a like. It will help out a lot. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. And if you want to support me more directly, memberships are open on the channel. Like I always say, no video will be behind a membership. It's purely there for support. So, thank you very much to all the members already doing so. Much appreciated. And I hope you all have a fantastic day wherever you are. And I will see you in the next one. Until then, bye-bye. Oh, Dr. Oxygen, excuse me, is, wait, I'm gonna have to get to the first stage, Dr. Oxygen. Are we doing a, Dr. Pepper reference with this thing? Okay, this is very Bioshock Infinite. Okay, well, let's see what you're cooking. Let's see what you're cooking. As long as no one approaches me in this game and tells me, would you kindly?
Careful now. Would you kindly lower that weapon for a minute?
No. Alright, Arknights, let's see if you carry your inspirations on the sleeve as you usually do. If this is gonna be very Bioshock coded. Reflected in the river, a banshee who is strayed far from home. Oh, Nasti, let's see what you're cooking. Oh, Corvallis of the Banshee's Castle. Oh, we're starting. Big Larry? Excuse me, who? Who is this? All curly. Yeah, that sounds like the... that sounds like names for people in a Wild West movie. Yeah, Lil Mo, okay. Oh, it's the... Right, I forgot that that's their names. It's the three revenants, right. The little guys, well, they're not little guys, but they're now little guys that are accompanying, our Tin Man here. Okay, so we're starting... Okay, so we're starting definitely after Kasdalian Rescue then, cause that is, yeah, that is, or rather, Tin Man picks the three of them up after Kasdalian Rescue in the very short continuation in IS5, one of its endings, where he picks the three guys up, the three revenants, and just goes into the world with them, essentially. Right. Okay. Okay, timeline. Nice. Oh, we're getting a... Wow. Ooh, wow, we're actually getting like a background CG for the Corvallis. Okay. Did not expect to see anything like this in a Rhine Lab story. In a Columbian story, okay. This is an interesting placement for this. Huh.
Where can a Banshee losing her memory even go?
Okay. Interesting. She gonna appear here. Also, considering they're bringing up this new Banshee altogether, I wonder if she has some connection to Nasti in that case. I feel like she's gonna appear in this story at some point. Either it's gonna be as a background character who is gonna lightly appear throughout the whole thing, just randomly, or she's gonna appear as the very last thing in the story, like in the very last node. Starting to suspect that this woman might be Nasti's mother or something. Let's see what happens. Oh. Okay. Oh, this music. Oh yeah. This is very old time inspired. I hope it kicks up a notch when in volume when the background kicks in. Oh, what in the Oakley? I hope your surname is Dokali. Oh no, a mascot. Oh god. Well, hi everyone. I'm Oakley, your guide to the park. Oh, we're gonna have some fun voicing this character. Get ready. Oh my god. Okay, this story is visually, at least, very inspired by well, definitely the 50s and 60s way of presenting the future, but game-wise, it is definitely inspired by both BioShock Infinite with the flying shit and Fallout. All right, that's a mix of genres. I like it. I like it a lot. Oh my lord. Okay. Now this is a background. This is a background. You go like, let me show you Arknights out of context. This is gonna even confuse an Arknights player. Oh boy. Ooh, yeah, this is very this is really just a mix of Fallout and BioShock Infinite. Levitation layer, Propeller Paradise experiment park. Oh hey. Okay, so she's full on in the story. Alright. Interesting. Welcome to Terra's one and only levitating experimental park, nomadic plate, Columbia's Propeller Paradise. By the way, nomadic cities are already like chugging so much energy just to stay, just to move around on the ground. A nomadic city that is flying, obviously you would not need probably a huge chunk of a layer below it to balance out the vibrations and everything and house the reactors and engines and stuff like that. Probably, at least for a flying contraption, but I just feel like a flying version would chug away way more juice than. I mean, anything defying gravity is chugging away more juice than something that just moves on the ground. Like, holy shit. I hope someone's gonna explain what they're doing here. How they're making all of this shit fly outside of propellers. Okay. Oh, this is one of the playable guys, right? This is the guy we get for free. I think. Yeah. He has the same face. Okay. Okay. They're introducing everybody very quickly. Interesting. Oh wait, his name is Gordon. That's his first name. Okay, sure. Gordon Tannen. Okay. Interesting. Why not? That's probably copywritten. That's right, probably. I started to think like, why not go all the way and just name him Gordon Freeman? That would have been funny as fuck. Anyway. Oh, hello. Oh, old man. Looking very dapper. What organization are you part of, huh? Ground layer, Propeller Paradise experimental park. Why does this motherfucker look like the most anime character that I've ever seen in this game? This fucker looks like he doesn't belong in a laboratory or something like that. This guy looks like he belongs in some battle shonen anime. If he had a slightly slender more face, I would say he's a Bleach character. Jesus Christ. His name is Sky Jagger? Why do I think of Mick Jagger? Okay, Mick Jagger is a rock star, right? No. Maybe that's the reference? Maybe. That's like the only reference I can think of at the top of my head. Well, I don't know if it's a reference or not to actual Mick Jagger. But a younger Mick Jagger definitely did not look anywhere near like this guy. Was definitely nowhere near as buff looking as this guy. Younger Mick Jagger was a stick man. Okay. The name has to be a reference though. Ooh, hi. They're fucking stupid little drones have helmets. That is kind of cute. Totally unnecessary, but very cute. Oh, what is this? When is this happening? I just got spooked by Saria. What the hell? Oh, is this maybe happening during the Lone Trail story? How far did we flash back? Considering the Saria skin I just saw flash for a sec. Okay, so what is happening here? Let's call it a day for some... Oh, practice partner, okay. Okay, so we didn't flash probably that much back, I guess. I was like, wait, what the hell? When did that happen in Lone Trail? When did these two square off? Because I don't remember that happening. Unless I'm forgetting something, but I don't think so? But then again, it's been almost 3 years, so it might be.
Not yet. Mariam goes without saying. Mulsis is in Kjerag.
Okay, so this is setting where we are right now, timeline-wise. Oh, okay, so this is basically her departing... departing for the Sky Laboratories, where the story is actually taking place right now. Okay, yeah. Mulsis is in Kjerag. She is for a while already in Kjerag. Also, yeah, considering this is taking place in the year 1102 apparently right now. This is interesting. This story is set further into the timeline than the current main story, the Kjerag story. And I think the only thing that is taking place around right now, like stories that are taking place around the same time frame as this one right now, are the Sui stories. Well, not all of them, but the last 3 or 4. I'm trying to think. I think I might be wrong, but I think either since Invitation to Wine or since the one after that we've been in supposedly in 1102 with the stories. I can't remember right now. I honestly can't remember right now. But the last story was definitely 1102. that one might have not spelled a date on screen, but it told you the date by basic math. Interesting. Oh, hello. Completely new NPC. Looks immediately over-designed and way more sharper designed than your average Joe Schmo NPC. That is not Sky. Who the fuck are you? Okay, gentlewoman. Definitely over-designed. You're not your average NPC Joe Schmo. You either have two functions with that design. You're either the villain of the story, or you're just a tease NPC for a future playable character. One of the two. With characters like this, there's either option A or option B. Option A being operator, option B being the villain. Okay. A crack appears in her impeccable secretarial smile, however, as she watches Nasti impassively unwrap the object. Oh, actual CG for this. Oh my god, I hope the story's not gonna be done in the same way with the CGs, like like the Kjerag story was. Please have a nice spread of CGs throughout all of the stages, because I think I'm gonna have another crash out if I find another story where the first 2 or 3 nodes have like 2, 3, or 4 pictures, and then there's gonna be nothing until the last 2 nodes. I think I'm gonna flip my shit if that happens again. That is a shitty spread. Marcia cannot look away from the brick. What the? I mean, it's a ration bar. I get it. She's pretty much eating. Military MRIs. That's so fitting with Nasti. But ugh, that shit is nasty. It's so dry. You need so much fucking water to swallow any of that food. Ugh. I know it has to be dry because it needs to be preservable for long periods of time. But ugh. Jesus Christ. I hope the technology improves for these fucking MRIs. They're just disgusting. Oh no. Choose with great difficulty, yeah. Yeah, military MRIs. Yep. That shit is, it's food, but, could as well just be dust. Could as well just be dust. Good God. Whoa, new NPC design. What the shit are you wearing? Oh, those are her horns. Okay, that looked like an apparatus on the head. Those are horns, okay? They're very drippy and going very well with the eye visor. This really is just 1950s, 1960s sci-fi look into the future, Where's the other tester? Any feedback after the rectifications? Tester B just vomits. Nice. Also, wow, drip. Holy shit.
Andrew!
Whoa, what the fuck is happening? Oh, this is that moment. Oh, shit. Oh, wow, this is a callback. And they're playing the music as well. Jesus. Okay. Also, I see. So, Sky's real name is Andrew. Okay. Interesting. And, I guess that girl is his sister then? Considering they were speaking about parents? Huh. So they were pretty poor, and he managed to somehow scrape by and get himself a nice paying job. Okay. Interesting guy. Very interesting guy. Okay, I haven't read what the balloons do. Cannot be attacked by allied units and does not count towards the defeated enemy counter. Grants 1 buoyancy when on a levitation zone. Okay. Renowned Propeller Paradise's levitation layer. Note the various shapes and sizes of levitable zones. Those are the main focus of experiments here. Both ground operators and high ground operators can stand on levitable zones and block aerial targets, but these zones have very limited weight capacity. Balloons are a levitable zone's main source of buoyancy. Note how many balloons are hooked up to the levitatable zone. That's how many operators it can carry. I see a target coming this way, I'm gonna block it. Watch out, you're on a levitatable zone with only 1 balloon mounted. Its load capacity is maxed at 1 person, and that's you. Okay, so if she blocks something, she's gonna go down? Yep, okay, it becomes a ground tile and the balloon goes away. Not in the sky anymore, the balloon just got blown away, bummer. Due to safety concerns, each time a levitatable zone rises or sinks, operators deployed aboard will immediately redeploy. Okay. That's interesting and can serve for some shenanigans. So operators deployed aboard will immediately redeploy. I can see that working for some operators. Operator's HP and SP will carry over, though any skills that were active will be reset. Yep, pretty much Texas Alter. Trigger skill, blocks something, drops down, triggers again. You can, technically with her, you can kind of 4 times trigger her skill without without anything, without redeploying her. Alright, that's the primer for me. Let's get in gear and see this levitation experiment through, everyone. If only didn't forget to give volunteers power packs. Oh yeah, I forgot! I forgot! She hates the high ground! I forgot! Doberman hates being high in the sky. She is uncomfortable when she is on high ground. Right, I forgot about that. That is funny as fuck. That is funny as fuck. Okay. Oh, I also see how this works. So, this whole platform is one connected piece. And it has a couple of balloons on it. Okay. If all balloons get disconnected, like this platform was completely levitating, but it had only one balloon. And when Mary got hit, the balloon went away. The whole thing dropped, and here we have a situation with like 3 balloons on 3 platforms, and if all 3, yeah, okay, I see. Interesting little mechanic. Gordon's head has never hurt so badly. Okay, is it really her bro, or is it it's just some friend of hers? What is happening right now? The holes in the onboarding process are obvious upon further inspection, but the real question is, why would she impersonate a guide? Oh, is she? Okay. Fern. Another name I recognize from another property. Okay. Interesting. I'm a tour guide, huh? Sure.
Your client was an old Banshee who somehow got lost in the bleached wasteland. Her memory was hazy and it was difficult to communicate with her. Oh, are we gonna... We might actually get to see the old Banshee, huh? Maybe. Okay. Wow, so this chick got into contact with her somehow. Interesting. Okay. What in the fuck in a drone is this? That is a fish with a top hat in a fish ball that is floating on a drone. And it has a monocle. And many hands. What the hell? Unknown entity? Intruder alert. Okay. Species? Terran. Aha. Who the fuck is in this laboratory that they have to specifically categorize this guy as Terran? Okay. Because usually people just who are from this planet just refer to each other, even machines refer to each other by their races. not by the planet itself. On your word, foolish Terran, I am Space Fin 054. State your universe ID number immediately. What the fuck is this thing? Your corporate name, nitwit. I like the fish, whatever this fish is. Oh. Okay. Gordon is part of this shtick, whatever this shit is. 5-4. Make sure you speak like an extraterrestrial entity next time you do the client explanation thing.
Aye, sir. What the fuck? Okay, so it's a scam. the whole behavior is a scam. Okay. What the fuck? What the fuck is happening right now?
Does a full course horn treatment help you relax? Which brand of horn care product do you recommend? May I touch your horn to see how well it works?
Jesus Christ. It's a bit creepy, but I know what she's doing. She's trying to coax as much Banshee information out of her as possible because of her body. Okay, funny.
She's gone, sir.
Say what?
Oh god, what the hell is she doing?
No, they've already begun to wilt.
Oh boy. Oh, rip. Rip goes the Bavaria, what the shit happened? Did she steal her bone pen? Okay. It was stuck in one of the... What did it say again? It was stuck in one of the... Where is it? 10 minutes ago she was walking through while thinking about what can help restore. It must be something important. A small object inserted into a tree. Huh. Okay, considering that Nasti obviously has problems with her bone pen because she never really properly trained with it, and everything like the other Banshees, she left the Convalis too early, I believe. Okay, interesting. She might be just, I mean, she said it earlier as well anyway, that the bone pens, I mean, they are just tools essentially for their incantations, but I have a sneaking suspicion, the alarm is probably gonna go off in a second here with her as well right now, but I have a sneaking suspicion that Nasti is using like bone pens, like she's making them herself and is using multiples of them. Actually, wait, wasn't there a thing in the Lone Trail, where there was a drawer with a bunch of bone pens or something surrounding Nasti, or in her office or something? I can't remember. I have a weird memory about multiple bone pens or some shit. Anyway, I have a feeling she's using the bone pens as a sort of computer program. Like she's establishing essentially a network with them, and they're all codes in place just to relay incantation from incantation to incantation to pretty much keep everything in place. But if you remove one, it's fucked up immediately. Uh-oh. Yeah, it's literally like having a stable computer program and then someone taps into the program and decides to, I'm just gonna delete this random piece of code. Oh god. If that's the case, of course.